Hey, Christina, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, we are rocking and rolling. So thanks for popping in, and for being the co-host today. We're supposed to have Miguel Myers. Unfortunately, there's some family issues going on with Miguel. So if everyone could say a little prayer tonight for Miguel, we'd really appreciate that. I know he would really, really appreciate that as well. So if you see Miguel, you know, let him know we're thinking of him and we're wishing him and his family well. All right. Good deal. Well, we were going to be talking about uh, like the roadmap for custom visuals, and Miguel stuff's good, but we've got something better for you today. We're going to be talking about Project Sophia. Christina, do you know what Project Sophia is?
What is Project Sophia, Chris?
It's the,
I hear amazing things.
it's the future of business intelligence. At least that's what they say. So we're going to get into it. We're going to have a conversation around that. Leave a comment down below if you played with it or you know anything about it. But it's good to see everyone online starting to hop in and comment. So, Jack, it's good to see that you're going to be in Vegas this year. Christina, are you coming to Vegas? I keep asking you
No,
that.
no.
You keep
I know. I wish I could, but I am going to be in London for Sequel Bits.
okay.
So I will be there. And I'm also going to be at the Sequel Saturday BI edition for Atlanta. So that'll be in February. So hopefully we can see a bunch of people there too.
Oh, that is awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. And Donald, it's good to see you as well, sir, and everyone, Jack, Shivando. Leave a comment to what conferences you're going to be going to this year. It seems like everyone's got something on their docket. Excited. Don's going to Atlanta, so that's good. But there's so much going on. We've got to get into it now. We're going to do something a little different here. We're going to start with the sizzle reel of Project Sophia. Christina, do you know what the sizzle reel is?
All I'm imagining, Chris, is when they come out with the fajitas in a restaurant and it's just sizzling and it just makes you want fajitas. That's what I'm imagining.
That is exactly it. Fajitas will be delivered to your door when we start this.
Yes.
So be aware. It's a lunch and learn. Figured that was appropriate.
I don't know how you got my address, Chris, but for fajitas, it's worth it.
But that's exactly right. It's like this is the marketing side of it. But as this video goes, we're gonna be. It's not long. It's only like 2 minutes. But several points in here, I want to pause and have a little bit of a conversation about what we're seeing. So I'm gonna let's go ahead and let's kick over to Project Sophia demo. Oh, the wrong thing.
You just really wanted to eat that fajita.
Yeah. All right. Actually, I think this is a great place to start. Like, you know, the idea that we're seeing a trend or we're conflating insights with trends, I think is a big deal, right? Like, just because you can see a trend pattern doesn't mean that's really helpful, useful insights that give you an action item, right? Uh, and how true is that? How much noise do you get in a lot of Power BI reports, Christina?
So much. Or worse, you end up with a bunch of tables that people just export to Excel. If that's not the definition of noise, I'm not quite sure what is, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now that right there, if we can automatically start to like suggest actions and like help curate those, that that's the promise that we've had inside of the Power BI space, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'd say most C-suite individuals that I've worked with in the past, at first it was just smart narrative kind of fulfilled this need of, hey, these numbers are on the screen, but they don't really tell me what my next steps could be or maybe where my problem areas actually are. Um, it sounds like Project Sophia is going to be able to take that to the next level. It's not just going to tell you the news, it's going to help you change the future of the next paper, right?
That's what they say. That's okay. And this right here, I think, might be the biggest thing that gets me excited is that it's not just the executives who can use this, but it's something that's easy enough that anyone in an organization, at least that's what they're going for, should be able to use, right?
Yeah.
Fingers
I
crossed.
mean, it sounds great, Chris. It sounds great.
Well, let's keep going. I think because I know the executives get all their questions answered, right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, right? But it's the line of business people that are actually out in the fields and like work on the front lines that take the brunt of this. All right, that's Project Sophia. All right, just I think that aligns with what we've been trying to do for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds exactly like what I try and build a report for, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
always trying to get people to ask better questions, to actually use their data in a productive way, not just have something that fills up their inbox with a subscription, right?
Yep. 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 Now, before we actually go to my desktop, excuse me, housekeeping. Keep forgetting this. We're here to like do Q&A. So, please ask questions in the chat. Want to have a conversation around this stuff? Please just prefix it with the Q so that we can bump you up to the top. And uh, you know, please don't repeat questions. If you're repeating questions, like we'll pull them off and send you into like timeouts and that type of thing. So, all right, enough of that though. Now, you may have seen this announcement on Project Sophia. This was released back in November at Ignite. So I'm going to make sure that this is available for you guys in chat. So you can go out there and take a look at this. It basically runs down like, hey, what are we trying to do about like automatically creating these really rich solutions that are out there? And it's saying, hey, you can go ahead and try Sophia today. So here is the link to actually trying Sophia. There is a little bit of a sign up process, but it's not significant. You'll be able to get right in. Um, Here is their more of a professional like rundown of Project Sophia. Page is pretty good. That sizzle video came from right here. This demo video is fantastic. After the live stream, don't go and look at the stuff before we're done. After the live stream, go check it out. It's pretty good. You can do that. And then they've got documentation on Project Sophia here. So all the different capabilities, everything that's inside of it, what it does, what it doesn't do. At least today, it's all out here. But this is documentation. I want to like head right into getting started in Project Sophia. Okay, now a little bit of a lay of the land before we get started. First time you come in, it's this nice like first time here welcome page and stuff like that. After that, you start creating content, and it's a little bit different. So let's run through what we got. So up here, we've got our home button to navigate to the home. We have the ability to create new workspaces. And if you're in the Microsoft Fabric world, you're like, I know what a workspace is. If you're in the Sophia
Yes.
world, so you know what a workspace is, right, Christina?
Yeah. It's all these places I can put my reports.
Yep, or your data lake stuff and all that good stuff. Uh, it's not the same inside of Sophia. So like workspace, maybe not the best name. So uh,
Is it more like a folder?
it's more like a dashboard, but we're going to get into that. I'll show you.
Oh.
So they do have the guides. There's different guides here, and so this is actually relatively very kind of important here. Sophia is much more business process driven, right? Like, so it really takes data. It's looking for insights, all those good things. But what we're about to do is really focused in on like, hey, how do we take action? How do we find something for us to do? Accordingly, there's all sorts of like kind of defined patterns that we're going to be going into and talking about. Like, oh, hey, we want to go into the sales development pattern. Okay, we start down that journey, and then we could put in data, and they'll help us down that journey, or like an account review, or whatever it is. Um,
Huh.
it's actually really cool to start. Like, you could just use the paths that Microsoft's creating. I'm guessing in the future there'll be more. Do go and check out this documentation. I mean, maybe it goes into that, but I didn't see it anywhere. A note: if you get into Project Sophia and it's full, you will get put in a waiting room while people are interacting with it and working with it. Now, I haven't encountered that. It's just something that's out there. Okay, but so in this case, the one guide they have available is the account planning guide. Okay, we're not going to get into that. We're going to just kind of skip over that. All of these items that we have up on top is the basic training information that we just kind of ran through. Like the links that I've already posted are these links here, so you can go ahead and leverage those. But I'm first going to show you the process to create one. So a new workspace is more like a new Sophia item or a dashboard, right? So I'm going to say new. Now, today, we have to add data, right? So when I hit new, it comes up with what questions or topics you want to explore today, and you have to add your data in. Sure, at some point in time, we'll be able to like connect this to reports or whatever, but for today, for the purposes of this this phase of development, it's working on creating insights based upon uploaded data. Does that make sense, Christina?
It does. It does. It always leads me to the question of, should I put my company's data in here, Chris?
Uh,
Um,
so there was a whole sign up thing that put all sorts of warnings in there. I'd probably hold off for now, but to some extent, yeah, I'd probably hold off. I did not read the warnings though, so maybe it's fine.
just a little disclaimer for anybody who might be really excited about this tool.
Yeah,
It's not quite private enough yet
yeah,
for
I don't.
your company's data.
It doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be careful here. So I'm going to use some dummy data in this. One last thing though, you do have the ability to decide what domain this belongs to. And these are the same domains that are defined inside of Microsoft Fabric. So I can go in and I've defined two domains for information. I've defined my sales and marketing, and I've just defined my finance. So I could make this as part of one of those domains. I'm going to do that now. If you don't do it right away, it'll actually prompt you later. Um, uh, so that's something that's out there. And then there are two different places where you can enter data. I think you saw me click on data here. I can upload this. Shift this. I can upload this file by using this link down over here, or I can use this add data button right here. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add data in. Now, some notes upon the data that you add in. Oh man. It can only be up to 10 megabytes in size, less than 50 columns wide. So there's some limitations. You can't like upload an infinite amount of data inside of there. But once you connect in and put in your data, you'll see that, okay, hey, my Project Sophia data set is now available. I can now ask Project Sophia a question. All right. So I could say, can you explain the data in this file? I don't know it. Let's see what it does. Once we hit generate, the large language models that are, our classic Chat GPT will start to run through and pour through this file. Once it's done that, it's going to begin looking for insights and start to build out our dashboard. This, in theory, can take a while. Last night, it was insanely fast. But, the problem with live demos is, they're live demos, right?
Well, and I'm sure other people are actually using it now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Ooh.
All right, let's take a look at this. Now, there's 3 sections inside of Project Sophia. Section 1 is like our overview. That's going to describe the information that we're looking at, right? So this is your advanced narrative, Chat GPT, Power BI visual on steroids, right? Just entered in and available inside here. They'll run through and they'll talk about, different, top product categories, account management, territory management, prospecting, go into all of those different things and give you a nice narrative on that. Oopsies. It will also give me, look at this, a trend over time.
Nice. I like the highlighting.
Yep. Year open. It's interesting that's what it shows. So, okay. Then
1970.
Yeah, I don't think for each business type. I don't know if that's super relevant, but that is okay. And then we've got a relationship between order quantity and unit price for each product category. So, that's kind of interesting too, right? So bikes, you can select something. But the big thing that we've got here are what are the suggested next steps. Now, again, this is in alpha. They're taking feedback, so some of the stuff is going to be good, some of it's going to be not so good. But we can start to play with this and try it. Honestly, I think this is a fantastic first thing. It is the first thing it says is, hey, why don't you, take an action, do something with this data, right? So generate email draft using the contents of the block. Okay, all right. Otherwise, it gets into analyze the product category as impact on sales amount, and I can click on that, and it can give me more of those insights. And look at how it does it, though. Because it doesn't do it inside that same tab, but it starts to auto-generate another dashboard to help tell that tale. Right? And now we've got more insights that are coming as part of that. Oh, look at this. Oh, they're still analyzing that chart. Oh, that's fascinating.
Nice.
Yeah. Gosh, that's cool. But wait, there's more.
Oh my gosh, Chris, more.
Yeah. We've got this new AI cursor here, and
Oh,
yeah, hang on. Now, okay, so my cursor's here. I've got it selected. I can now use this cursor to ask the AI to focus on part of my chart. So, okay, can you explain the growth in bikes and generate? And now I can either create a new blueprint, which was create a new page down below, or generate that in the existing block. So right inside this space, I could generate it, but I want to try generating it as a new block.
mm.
So it's going to drill in deeper on this and start to provide some actionable insights here as well.
And I'd say, Chris, as report developers, even now, we could use this with like sample dummy data that's similar to the data you're looking at, just to try and figure out what are good questions or good ways to visualize data before you actually dig in.
Yeah.
We can have AI give us good questions to ask.
Yeah, and honestly, that is a fantastic point, Christina. You could leverage this to just gain these insights and suggested next steps, right? Um, yeah, uh, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of excited at the capabilities that this offers, right? And I could continue to drill in, or I could say, hey, no, this is no good, or I could say, yeah, I want to keep it. Um, I could trace it back up, and let's say I want to do something different here. I could use my AI tool. Let's explore this point, right? What caused this growth? As a new blueprint. Now, will it put it out in a node fashion down below? How that works?
Oh, we've got a tree.
Look at this. So, Donald Parrish is asking a good question. Donald's asking, so from the icons, is it using Power BI for visuals? I think,
Looks like it to me.
yeah, I mean, uh, I would say definitively yes. This looks like it's the Power BI Smart Narrative with Copilot behind it, right? These are the bar and column charts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or line charts. And,
Line charts, yeah.
yeah,
I'm guessing that they've got the latest visuals in here as well.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, and the futures and preview C terms.
Ooh.
You bear also responsibility for all data provided by Microsoft. Yeah, it's not going to protect you. Well, it's not going to like back up your data. So this should not be a repository. But like, look at how you can kind of create an analysis and like a thought process for how you review that information. And in many ways, I think this alone looks like this is a viable process and tool for like analyzing data that we're working with, right?
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what it looks like when it can hook up to a Power BI dataset, because that would be huge if we can, put in our own exceptions, those kind of things. Or to me, this looks like the future of QA, right? Like QA, you can have different synonyms, it's a lot of
Oh yeah, yep.
manually putting in things. This could be QA, take it up to the next level where you're essentially telling it like, hey, we just have to put in a couple of synonyms for when people ask for sales, use this measure, right? Not these ones, or
Oh yeah,
stuff like that.
that is a good point, Christina. Um, yeah, like having those things in place to make sure that what what makes sense in here and in QA is incredibly valuable. Look at that. I wonder. So let's click on generate email draft. Let's see how well this generates emails.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, ChatGPT's good at it, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I mean, and while this looks very promising, clearly there's some things that are not quite right. Like this is not the right scale for this one. Oh, interesting
Yeah.
that it sends us over that direction. Oh, look at that.
Oh, so it just drafts it for you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Subject: insightful analysis of Project Sophia data. Shows key insights and analysis of Project Sophia data. Our top 3 product categories in terms of annual sales categories 2, 1, and 3. Okay. These categories are primary drivers, blah, 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 blah.
I feel like this is partly because of our original question, right? The original question was explain this data.
Oh,
And I think that's what this email output is.
that is an excellent point. So, all right, let's keep that one. But that would imply that if I go down to my bike analysis,
Mm-hmm.
it's my explain the growth in bikes. And if I generate an email from this, are you saying that
Is it the same?
is it going to
I don't know.
explain the growth in bikes in my email?
That's what I'm hoping.
I mean, hands off, right? Like I'm not driving that. That's kind of cool. It is the bikes product category growth.
Oh,
All right. So notably higher than other product categories, including a strong market preference for bikes or indicated. Success of this category can be attributed to effective territory management and successful account management. Wow. Well, I think this
which
is
is good.
yeah.
Yeah. My problem is, if I'm gonna be, if I'm gonna write an email to my team, it's gonna be congratulating certain territories or certain accounts, right? I might want to dig a little bit deeper and get those tops out of there, but it's definitely not a bad start.
All right. Well, let's see if we can use the AI to enhance this. I don't know. Can you enhance this email to call out top performers? And I'll say please, because if you're nice to the AI overlords will be nice to you. Okay, let's do it as a new blueprint so we can see how that works. We string together item on item.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah, but
No new data
no
though.
new data,
Yeah.
no new, no. We must also highlight the top performers who contributed significantly to success. Okay. All right.
Oh, it tried. It tried, Chris. So I think it's viable to say that for now, smart narratives is probably still a good thing, but it did at least narrow down our dimensions that we should look at, right? In the previous email, it had said
Yeah.
region and
Yeah. It had called that stuff out, and I mean, honestly, I'm not terribly disappointed with this, right? Like this is, I mean, at least you have the body of the email in both of these that you could get started with, right? And then you could potentially use this as a jumping block for additional information, right? And
yeah.
of course, my data might not have top performers in it, so what the heck do I know? Yeah, I think this is legit. at least we could
I,
see where it's going, right?
I think you're right. I think it's got a place in the ecosystem. I don't think it has it now, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
there's definitely a need for this kind of thing.
I mean, there's a little bit more to go in here, but I think it's important to also understand what role does MVP products take or play in the marketplace, right? Like the reason why you interact and you look at something like this is you can provide feedback and say, hey, it would be great if this did XYZ, or could we
Yeah.
integrate it on this side of the house, right? I think that's something that a lot of people miss out on, and it's not necessarily going to be something that has to be done or has to be done before it goes live, right?
No. But to your point, if you've always wanted to get on the ground floor, who knows what this product could turn into in the next 5 years, right?
Right, right, right.
Being able to be part of it and saying you've played with it since the beginning, pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And let's do that whole experience for the. Yeah, sorry. I almost forgot. Let's do the guide to see what that looks like and how that works and operates. Oh, of course. Now you're all locked up on me. Come on, Project Sophia. You got this. I have faith in you. Oh, but maybe I shouldn't.
Those AI overlords, they were very excited about the please, they just locked up your internet.
Right, right, right. Actually, that's exactly what it is. I've lost, or my internet is choking right now. This is not
Oh,
Project Sophia thing. This is a Chris's lap or desktop. That's okay. All right, we're back. So let's try one of the guides. All right, so let's try the account planning guide. All right, use the account planning guide. Account plans may have blah 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 blah. Account plans may help account managers and their sellers effectively orchestrate and execute plans, meet targets, or grow revenue. To get started, upload one or more files and provide the data recommended below: sales, pipeline, or customer information. All right, well, let's try that again with Project Sophia. It's got some of that data in it. I will say one of the interesting things was I could have sworn last night there were 3 or 4 items that were just grayed out when I went to the account planning, and now there isn't. So it's kind of interesting.
well, like you said, it's an alpha product. I'd imagine that things are just constantly being worked on.
Right. Let's see. How is that going to go? Is this as now link? Okay. But I'm hopeful that we can create our own custom pipeline or custom guidance on things, right? Like, hey, when should the
Some business rules.
yeah, yep. Oh wow, look at this.
Hey, this is what I wanted.
Yeah. Oh, check that out. This is
Very nice.
legit, right?
Yeah, I like this much better.
Yeah. Look at this. Top performing products, sales territory analysis.
Nice.
All right, continue exploring. I don't know what that does. Oh, but we can actually upload and add more data in. So, we could upload pipeline data, or we could upload additional whatever.
Which makes sense if you were trying to look at targets versus actuals.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, obviously, something that's missing big time from this is the ability to have a data model, right?
Yeah, yep.
Um,
Now I this looks similar to what we had on the other screen, right? So it looks.
It does, but the analysis is different.
Oh, that's true.
Or on the left, I mean, that one,
Yeah,
we still get our tops, which is kind of nice.
yeah, I like this. I know.
Otherwise, yeah.
Uh, this feels like we're continuing to like, I don't know, play with or see these new capabilities that just seem like they're making more and more sense as they start to integrate and do more things together, right?
Yeah, I have a feeling they've trained this account planning option to ask certain questions, right? Or to look for certain things,
Right?
which is really nice.
Yeah,
And that I'm excited to see what else they come up with because clearly it's made a difference.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Honestly,
yeah,
I think this is great. I mean, oh, what the heck
show
is
work.
show work?
Chris, click it.
Need to analyze
There's
the data
this
and provide useful skill. Block planner skill.
interesting.
All right.
Means nothing to us, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Show work.
Also, it's giving us the reasons for these blocks.
That's kind of cool. But you see, there's
Hmm.
also chart settings.
Oh, that's nice.
So some customability. That's you know not not a full on thing, but that works.
Like personalized visuals, light. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it.
interesting.
Is there a show up? Show, no. Oh, show work here too. Next skill set.
I feel like it's giving us reasons for the block's existence.
Yeah.
Um, which is not bad, but I think both of us were a little excited to see what made it choose these.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair enough, right? Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is cool. I like the direction that it's heading in. I wish like Power BI dashboards would be doing stuff like this, and uh, maybe that's
Careful, Chris. People might actually use them.
yeah, right. Like I mean, the last time we got an update to a Power BI dashboard is what 2017, I think was the last time a feature set was added to dashboards. So
Oof.
yeah, like kind of get on this or like was it? Oh, look at that.
I am glad, for the record, that they put more time into the apps,
Mm-hmm.
and those audiences, because I think that's originally dashboards were kind of a consumption project, and I'm glad that they refocused
Yeah.
and
Yep.
did it differently.
I would agree with that. I think that makes sense that they spent more time there. Um, and so maybe this is going to be a shorter video or live stream, but what did you guys think? Did you like it? What are your thoughts on it? I mean, clearly something that's in progress, right? But I think it has a direction, right? Like I think this could serve a need, right? What
Yeah,
would you like to see added to this?
I personally, I mean, throw stuff in the chat, guys, because it's fun to hear what you guys think the use cases could be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, me, Chris, I can totally see this eventually being how I direct people to consume their data, right? Maybe you have enterprise reports and you have this as your self-service layer,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, I could see that right away. I think some of the things off the top of my head, I think you kind of touched on this. Uh, I would want to be able to get my own data sets and have my own content that I'm just mashing up right against that. And I mean, with Microsoft Fabric, I don't see why not, right? Like, why do I, if the data's in a Delta file, I don't need to upload a CSV, right? But if we focus in on the experience, right, presuming the data will come, something I think that hits on that I'm keying in on is I'd want to be able to do more with the guides, right? Like Microsoft has created a guide. That's awesome. Like that. Don't get me wrong. But I think I'd like to be able to create my own custom guide, and then take kind of control over like what it is that shows up, what are the type of recommendations, those things. That would be fantastic,
Yeah.
right? Did I do a? I generated a text in this one. No, I didn't. Go back. Go to the live stream one. I also think like the capabilities we have to like edit this would be wonderful, right? Like not just like
Yeah.
be able to go in and play with this. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be really nice, Chris.
Yeah. I wonder. Let me hit that. Oh, can't edit that.
Oh, Donald has an interesting point. He says it reminds him of early demos of Power Query from MS Research. And I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I feel like this is the visual side of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So yeah, if you're just trying to explore data, understand what it is, I think this is potentially very helpful. Like, Christina? Do you use the like copy, paste, quick create report stuff?
Oh, I've done it a couple times. If I'm building a new report from
Mhm.
scratch, definitely. Or if somebody tells me their report is not quite working for them, I'll do that to at least get ideas and see from there.
Yeah, I like it when people send me like a CSV file or something like that. I like to just grab it and
Yeah.
drop it in there and take a look at it. I think presuming that the data is not sensitive in any way, and maybe this is fine to load stuff. Maybe they're just tossing it away. I don't know. But if I knew that this was secure, like, or the data was meaningless, right? Like it has no
Yeah.
intrinsic external value, like then who cares, right? Like someone sent me a list of projects that they were working on, and they needed some like those project names are meaningless. The task names are meaningless, right? They're not in a. We're not talking about like the U.S. government here, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
type of a thing could be useful. But you do have to be careful and protect data. But I don't know. I think this is viable. I'd use it
Yeah.
for just for that exploring the data. I think I'd also like to see the ability to customize what are
Yeah.
suggested next steps, right? Um,
Completely agree.
right? Like say, okay, hey, we use, I don't know, like Power Automate, and like maybe it's automatically schedule people for a distribution of an email list or marketing campaign or something along those lines. Drive a process through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of capabilities here, a lot of options. So,
Yeah, it's promising. It's not there yet, but it's promising.
yeah, good. All right. So I think that was our like overview and first takes of Project Sophia.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah. I wish there was more we could play with it, but obviously it's still so new that yeah.
just kind of happens, comes and goes. But all right. So as a bit of a self promotion, next week I'm going on the live stream. We're gonna have uh, Dave Marinari from AtScale. We're going to be talking about semantic models and the value of semantic models in a workspace. And we're going to be having a little bit of a lively conversation. Christina, I'm sorry that you'll be part of this, but
What do I need to be ready for, Chris?
I am very anti calculated columns at the semantic layer. Dave is very
Did know this.
pro calculated columns at the semantic layer. He thinks it's critical.
Really?
So
And you're letting him come on the show.
I am always open to debate. I think that is. I think open debate and conversation is so key in this world, and even and especially with people that we disagree with. So happy for him to be on the show and talking about this. So should be a good conversation. All right.
I look forward to it. I think it's gonna be great.
Awesome. Yeah, and
I'll get some popcorn.
what? There you go. And then Kevin is going to be on. Oh my gosh, on Friday we're going to be going. Oh, he's got this automation to stop and start fabric capacities. We're going to run through all of that stuff, so that'll be really good. And oh, look at this, we got a question. From the business point of view, is the advantage what AI is making difficult for working professionals, or is it to help enhance working capabilities? This is a great question. Um, uh, so remember back in the sizzle reel where it said like it, AI not just for executives but for like the business line, like the frontline workers and stuff. That's where I think AI is going to become really powerful and important. Is that it's going to be able to service up and make recommendations and provide advice for those frontline workers so that they can make better decisions at the work that they do on a day-to-day basis. I almost question if executive level analysis is going to be to the appropriate level, like how long for the AI to take that over. Maybe that'll be sooner, but I think this is more for customized broad scale analysis. Christina, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, my thought is that it's going to enhance working capabilities, right? I don't think that's going away. So it's not really an either or. I think that it's kind of a yes and yes. It might make it more difficult. So let's say if you've got an analytics team, I could see where if other people were using AI and they were getting different answers to questions than you had provided, that could be tricky. But I think that's been happening forever, right? You'll always get people who come up with different answers to the same questions. So it's just we just have to learn how to use it to our advantage and make sure that we have good relationships with people who are using AI so that they can trust us to help them confirm or deny what AI is telling them.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point, right? Like, hey, I mean, if you look on all the things of Project Sophia, like, hey, like, here, pop right over and show it to you. Like, every visual shows this, right? Oops.
Yeah.
Ah. Every visual has this. AI generated content can have mistakes. Make sure it's accurate, appropriate before using it, right? Like, people don't get that, and if they don't have someone that they can legitimately talk to and make sure that they understand what this means, like, we can get in a world of trouble. So great point, Christine.
But a good question and
Yeah.
one I think a lot of people are asking. So thank you.
100%. All right, well, that is what we got for you today. It's a little bit of a shorter one, kind of an impromptu topic, but I think a fun one, right?
Yeah.
So,
You sound so unsure, Chris.
yeah,
We always have fun.
yes,
You
yes.
know,
It's my
even
favorite
with alpha
topic to talk
products.
about, and yes, even with alpha products. But I just filmed a video this morning that I'm kind of sad about. I told you about too. I don't know if you saw, but Tabular Error 3 has a brand new learning courses out there, and you can get certified for free. I thought it was going to run through the first course in a video. I ran through the first module, and it's 45 minutes long. It's 100% worth your time and
Whoa.
effort. It's good quality content. The videos will be out tomorrow. Check it out. But more than that, go do the Tabular Error 3 training. It's fabulous. So.
Yeah, I learned so much from those, even just about the tabular object model,
Yeah.
because I love coding it in C#, like a heathen. So I I enjoy learning from them little tips and tricks that I didn't even know were possible.
Yeah.
So.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We really appreciate all of you guys dropping in. We'll see you on Friday. Have a good day. Peace. Oh, I can click. Baker Tilly Digital combines strategic industry insight and advanced technical expertise to uncover and solve your digital transformation challenges. If you're interested in learning more, check out our website at bakertilly.com/digital.